what would be most useful for you in our conversation today?
Just any tips that you would give somebody, like for nerves, because people are nervous when they go take it. Um, Anything to do during the meantime, like before the test, tips of that nature.
Sure. So when we talk about nerves, why do you bring up nerves? What are you nervous about?
Because I feel like the LSAT it's a big deal.
Yeah,
So it's like a breaking point. It's like a make it or break it type of thing. Even though we can retake it, it's still like it can bruise somebody's ego if you do bad on it. So
for sure. And when are you taking it?
I was gonna take it in April, but I think I'm gonna have to take a year off because I'm already too late to start applying for law school. I wanted to start in fall, but I think I cut it too close. So I'm gonna try to take it in, I think it's an August date or October. I need to look at the calendar again.
Yeah, you've got some time. You've got
Yeah.
several months. If you're not applying this cycle, you've got,
Yeah.
you could take the LSAT in the summer. You could take it in the fall. It's all good.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to take it like in the summer so that I can be ahead and apply for fall 2021.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my goal.
Awesome. So you've got plenty of time. And while the LSAT as a whole is incredibly important, no one particular test date will make or break you because you can
Right.
always retake. So
Yeah.
if you could take it in the summer and then retake in the fall, the stakes are a lot lower because there's no one particular test date that everything is riding on.
Right. Right.
Now,
Yeah.
where do you want to go to law school?
I don't know. I have like 4 choices, which I'm in New York City. So I want to stay in the city, and I either want to go to Fordham or St. John's. Like those are my top schools that I would want to go to.
Okay. And do you know what else that score you need?
For Fordham, I know I need a higher one, probably like a 1. I think it was like a 165.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like the median. But for St. John's, you can have a lower LSAT and a lower GPA and be safe to get in.
That's true. So
Yeah.
worst case scenario, if the LSAT doesn't go as well as you want it to, you could still potentially get into St. John's depending on your GPA and what the LSAT score actually ends up being.
Yeah, a lot of people from my school, actually, I go to John Jay. A lot of people from my school have gotten into St. John's. And a lot of like the counselors and stuff from St. John's, they come to my school on a regular basis to recruit people to apply and stuff.
Yeah, so they want you and they need you.
Yeah, that's what they were saying too. Like they need you guys. So yeah.
They need you more than you need them.
Yeah, that's what they were saying too.
Nice. So if you look at it that way, then the worst case scenario may not be so bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I just feel like I was so lost and I started late. That's why, because I wanted to start, I didn't want to take a year off. I wanted to start now, but I didn't have nobody to really guide me. And I go to school at night. So all the programs, like the law programs that do help guide us, they were closed by the time I get to school because I work in the mornings. So it's like, I think I took too much time and didn't do everything I should have been doing.
Well, a couple of things there. I mean, you were late before. If you're looking to take the LSAT in the spring for that same cycle, that's late. But if you wait till the next cycle, suddenly you're early. Now you're early and you have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The other thing is that you're going to school at night. You can't access all the programs your college is making available to you, but those are not the only source of information that you have.
Yeah. And that's when I found out about this. So I was like, good, because I tuned into like your videos and I was you did a video with, I forgot his name. He was a lawyer. I forgot his name, but he was the one that made me think like, I think I should take the year off instead of risking not getting into a school that I want to get into because of, the seatings and they already booked and people already applied for them and got accepted. So that's what made me want to take the year off too.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Sounds like you know what you got to do. You just got to put in the time.
Yeah.
But you've got several months to study for the LSAT. And so you can really just start from square one, build the foundation first, and master this exam. Have you used one of my study plans?
No, I haven't looked at them yet. I'm literally just like, the first thing that I started was logic games. I know you said something about logic games. So I tried to play like numbers games and stuff, but I'm still like, it's still so foreign to me. So I'm trying to get everything together so I can start.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, first thing I would say is pick a target test date. You could go for the summer LSATs in June or July, or you could go for August or October and beyond, but pick a date, focus on that, get the study plan that best fits that timeline. And in those study plans, I will lay out for you exactly what to be doing every single day over the course of your prep, which prep books to read, which prep test problems to complete, which articles to read on my site, just breaking it down for you as simply as possible.
Okay, so cool. So that's where I should start at.
Exactly.
And you don't think I'm starting too early? You know how you ever like study for a test too early and then when it gets close, like you forget because you started a little too early? Like, what would you suggest?
That applies for a lot of tests, but not so much for the LSAT, because this is not a test of information or memorization.
Okay.
It's a test of pattern recognition. And so what that means is that the more time you take to develop and build your understanding of those patterns, the better you'll do. And listen, you know, the fall LSATs are not that far off, actually.
Yeah.
The people who do the best on this exam typically spend 5 to 6 months at least to reach their fullest potential. And if you have other obligations like work, school, family, then it takes a little bit longer compared to someone who's studying for this and doing nothing else. So I would say it's not too early for you to start. If you were, 3 years ahead, I have people contacting me in high school and I'm like, that's a little too early because you're focused on college for now, but you're already in college, you're applying in the next year or so. It's not too early to start looking at this stuff.
Got it. So I think I'm going to start today because it is true. Fall is not that far out. And I think I want to take it earlier than the fall so I can start actually applying in the fall. So I think I want to do summer, which is also not too bad, like 5 months it gives me.
Yeah, exactly. And one other comment I want to add for you is with regard to looking at law schools like Fordham and St. John's, they are very different. As you noted, they have different requirements. And there are also different career opportunities associated with each. Like St. John's, they require lower numbers. It's also not as prestigious as school. So if you're going to go there, you want significant scholarship money, if not ideally a full ride, which means you still want a pretty high LSAT. If you were going to St. John's and taking out loans for it, you might not be able to pay them off so easily when you graduate. So keep that in mind. I think either school you're looking for, if you want to stay in New York, I get it. I live in New York also, and it's obviously the best city in the world, right?
Right.
So you want to stay here, but that limits your options to some extent because there's only so many law schools here in New York. So make sure you're getting a good enough LSAT score where you can either go to a prestigious law school or you can get a significant scholarship money, if not a full ride, or both.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because we had like this law day at my school. So there was like pick the schools you want to pick, but also be realistic. Like they call it like a safe zone, like a school that you know you'll definitely get into. So that's why it's so different, like from Fordham to St. John's. Like so.
Yeah, but keep in mind also getting in is just the first step because then there's succeeding there and there's the loans associated, there's the bar exam, there's jobs afterwards. It doesn't really end. But if you get that high LSAT score, like at least 160 plus, then you're getting scholarship money or getting into a better law school, maybe both.
Yeah, that's my goal because I feel like my GPA could be better because I had to take a year off from because I went to BMCC also. I had to take a year off when my grandma died, and I feel like that's when my GPA like flaked. And then it's still like hurting my GPA till this day. Like I'm getting better grades now. I was even on the dean's list, but it's still like, in order for my GPA to go a little higher, I have to get all A's this semester. So it's still going to be a little challenging. So that's why I want to do very good on this test. Like,
so regarding the GPA, I mean, you can write an addendum about that. You can talk about what happened. That's a valid reason. And the upward trend is at least a good thing that your grades go up as time goes on. But LSAT score weighs more heavily, and that's the biggest thing you can impact at this point. So give it your all over the next 5-6 months, get that 160 plus. And although you want to stay in New York, it also wouldn't hurt to apply to law schools outside New York, just because it can help you negotiating scholarships. Like you get into law school somewhere else, you can go to St. John's or Fordham and say, hey, I'd love to go to you guys. I prefer to stay in New York. School X outside New York offered me this. Can you at least match that or maybe exceed it a little bit? So play them off each other.
Got it. So how many would you like consider on your list?
I would say at least 10.
10? Okay.
And you don't have to want to go to all 10, but again, the scholarships.
That makes sense. Definitely. And also say somebody like not flakes the test, but doesn't do the absolute best on the date that I want to take it. How long would you give somebody to retake the test?
Depends on a lot of factors. I mean, I like recommending taking it 1 or 2 months later because you're still fresh.
Yeah.
So let's say you take it in August, you could then retake in October, or you take in October, you could retake in November. You've only got to stay fresh on the LSAT for another month or two. And that could involve nothing more than just taking a timed practice test every week. That's all you got to do. Yeah. And if you improve in your understanding, even better. But because law schools don't average multiple scores and they only take the highest, you could, through luck alone, do a couple points better and benefit from it. And if not, no big deal.
Got it. So I think I'm going to start that study plan thing today because I did save I know you send out like an email like every day. So I saved all of them, but I haven't opened them. So I think that's my goal for today, like to just go through them and find out. You said start from the bottom, so that's exactly what I'm going to do today.
Yeah, build the foundation, start going through them. You got all the information available to you, just make use of it. Yep,
definitely. Thanks, I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Before we sign off, what would you say is the biggest insight you got from our call today?
Just information, because I feel like I'm like a first generation going to college. I'm the neighborhood I'm from. Nobody really goes. You don't hear nobody saying I'm in law school. So I feel like you teaching us is like kind of like a big brother figure. Like that's the biggest.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.